Wednesday the 6th of May. I've got a grin in my face because I've done it again. Like I said, I wasn't going to do rats and mice, okay? Because I can't. It's not that I can't solve them. I just don't want the hassle, the stress that comes alongside it. A lot of pest controllers will agree with me that it's solving the pest problem is not the problem. It's dealing sometimes with the customers that can be too much stress to deal with it. And you think, do you know what? It's not worth my time. It's not worth the money. It's not worth the hassle. Anyway, this lady contacted me. You got to stick with me on this one. You got to stick with me on this one, right? The lady contacted me. She said, "You've got rats in the garden." I was like, "Okay, no problem." She said, "But I've read your reviews, and I know you don't do rats anymore, but please, I know that you can solve this." Now, she was already on board with the fact that she read my reviews. She already knows about me. She knows that I don't do rats anymore, but she said, "Please, I need you to solve this." So I'm smiling because I solved it. And it wasn't an easy solve. It wasn't easy. Not many people will find this. So I've done it again. And this is the thing, right? I say to everybody, no one ever believes me. If you've got rats in your garden, right, it's generally because they're breaching out from the drains somewhere. Whether or not it's your next door neighbor or it's your garden, somewhere. And sometimes it's not always easy to spot. So I looked around this house. Now this garden's lovely, right? It's a lovely garden, well kept, well looked after. But she's seeing rats running around this area quite a lot. You can see them from the window. She won't even let her son come in the garden anymore. So I had a look in the garden for where the rats could come from. Now, what was the first thing I went for? I went for the drains. Let me show you the drain. So the drain is over here. The manhole cover's over here, right? Obviously, yeah, bird feeder. So she says that in the winter time, there's a hole that appears here. So I pulled the manhole cover back, right? And I looked at it. Okay, so you can see already there's a hole there, but it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't lead anywhere. I've already checked. And there's nothing here. There's nothing here that is allowing the rats out. You can't see it. But there is a crack here. There's also cracks down here. The customer's been putting some poison down. There's also holes here. There's a hole here. There's a hole here. Okay, so that's the shed. This is the epicenter. This is where the rats are getting out from. Okay? But you can't see how they're getting out. Bear with me. Remember, I have to do this investigation and work out why the rats are there and how to stop them before I then carry out a control program. So follow me with this and you'll see how I solved it. Right, we go into the shed and you can see that the rats have been digging out here. Okay? So I know there's a hole down the back of there. Okay, that's where the rats have been climbing up and chewing out. Okay, so I know we're very close to where the rats are coming from because rats are lazy, they're smart, but they don't want to travel too far. They will travel a couple of gardens, but generally they'll try and stay close to where the food source and the water source is. So with this amount of activity going on, this many rats seen, I knew I was close. They're actually digging underneath the back of here. Let's see. They're in the back of the garden here. They're underneath this slab here. The slab's now collapsed. Okay, so all of these has now started to collapse here. So you can see down there. So I was like, I need to find this problem, where it's coming from. I might have to go next door, but I didn't have to, because I'll show you where the rats were coming from. They were coming from I think I found how the rats are getting out. Now, you can't see it very well from this point of view, but you can see that there's definitely something going on. I can actually see insulation in the drain, but you can see the smeared stains around here, which definitely signs you've got rat activity around here. Now, if I put my camera down there, and I move it across to here, I believe I'm right in line with where the rats are getting out. I'm just trying to, yeah, there it is, boom. Found it. Found how the rats are getting out. But you would never find that just by looking at a drain like that. And they're digging out here, and then they're digging out under here. So there's a massive hole about here. There's a massive hole about here underneath the drains where the rats are getting out, which has caused this garden here to collapse. Okay, and then obviously they've dug underneath the concrete, created a chamber, and they've come out the other side down here. Okay, they've come out down there. So when you say to me you've got rats in the garden, I'm thinking, where do those rats come from? Oh, you know, rats, they come from the fields. No, they don't. They don't come from the fields. They don't just randomly appear in the fields. What's in the fields? Grass. Rats don't live off grass. So where's the food source? Because rats are protein eaters. So where's the protein? There's nothing in the field, is there? So if you've got rats in your garden, and it happens a lot this time of the year, because generally when it's warm outside, the lofts get too warm and they're not interested in being in your loft now. They now want to go out in your garden. They're going to enjoy the sunshine. They're going to enjoy all the food that you've put out for the birds. So the rats are going to enjoy that as well. When the temperatures drop, the rats then go into your loft. And this is how the rats have been getting out into this garden via the sewers. And I'll say it time and time again. If you've got a rat problem, I'm going to tell you now, it's always from a drain. Always from a drain. Somewhere. I can't tell you where, but it's somewhere nearby. And this is evidence again. So this is evidence again that although it's not visible here, there's a hole just inside there, which then leads directly underneath this shed here. So there we go. Another rat mystery solved by Beekind Pest Control. Or by me. I am Beekind Pest Control. So there we go. I got a little grin on my face. Why? Because I solved it. Customer called me out. She believed that I was going to solve it. I have solved it. So now we're going to carry out a rat control program in the garden, and then we're going to get this ground excavated, repair the hole, stop the rats from coming out, because even the neighbours are seeing rats in their gardens. So we need to get on top of this. We need to get on with it now. So I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you on the next one. Ciao.